What are some other benefits that Red Bull gets from bringing merch to events? Is it just that it creates exclusivity there, or are there other benefits of having merch at your event?
There's way more opportunity to actually have a direct engagement. You don't need to be massive as Red Bull, but you can use the same effect and same impact as well for your local community events.
So what are some ways that small brands can even build exclusivity to begin with their merch?
In a first step, you could run two different ways. You can, of course, come up with a fully custom product that you design. On the other hand,
I'm Will Campbell.
and I'm Pascal Vida, and this is Promotions Playbook.
Together we've built Australia's largest catalogue of customisable promotional products.
Whether you're a small business or a major player, we know the right merch can transform your brand and help you grow.
In each episode we'll show you how to get fast, transparent and affordable promotional products to take your business to the next level.
Ready to elevate your brand? Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back to our new episode. Today with Sophie, our content strategist. And we want to talk today about Red Bull and how Red Bull utilize merch and building up desire and exclusivity for their brand.
So, as Pascal said, today we'll be talking about how Red Bull uses their merch to create this exclusivity. So, can you tell me a little bit about some of the unique things that Red Bull does with their merch strategy that maybe other brands don't do?
So Red Bull, in the first place, of course, everyone knows this brand.
Yeah.
They have a long history of actually building their brand, but building exclusivity around their brand or in any kind of brand comes back to actually limiting the demand. And one piece out of that is that you can use merch perfectly for exactly that. Being exclusive in the choice of the products that you associate with your brand and put your logo on or your message on, and then as we're limiting it actually to distribute to your customers and to your fans. That works again for big brands like Red Bull, but can work as well for a lot of smaller brands. They still in the stadium of actually building their brand.
So I suppose, why is it a better decision for them? Wouldn't they make more money if they sold the merch itself? Why does it make more sense for them to not sell the merch in the first place?
So you can go in both directions. So you can still run the way of selling it and limit the actual quantity on the units that you give out, but as well connecting free merch to particular locations and events and build their actual demand on this quite local event and situation. And it can give people, they actually attend the local event as well, the impression of having or being a part of something limited in regards to, not everyone gets this merch because I need to be there, and this is just allocated to this particular event. And that was Red Bull loves doing by actually having these local events and giving out merch that's just limited in the way for this particular event or maybe the next and the next 2-3 events, but it stays limited in the way. So that's where you have the opportunity with your brand to actually build a subconscious demand for the brand and building this exclusive and desirable being a part of something in the mind of the people.
Speaking about events, what are some other benefits that Red Bull gets from bringing merch to events? Is it just that it creates exclusivity there, or are there other benefits of having merch at your event?
Yeah, so aside of that, of course, you can generate engagement. You get in contact with the people. They actually come to you because there's a pull effect with the merch to get people to the location, talking to your staff, talking about the product, the brand, etc. So there's way more opportunity to actually have a direct engagement, and exclusivity about the particular product connected to the brand is then the cherry on top. But the opportunity to build a relationship with your customer or with a new customer in this way, and that's where you can actually mirror that 101 to your own brand. You don't need to be massive as Red Bull, but you can use the same effect and same impact as well for your local community events, being a part in the market where you actually allocate a certain part of limited and exclusivity to this product with your brand and offer it to your interested audience.
I suppose when we look at how Red Bull leverages this merch, it's quite often free giveaways. So they'll show up at different events in their big branded car and give away both shirts and the drinks. But how is it that they actually make money out of just giving the merch away more so than if they were selling or supplying their merch and their drinks at that event?
That's the subconscious impact that you have with a brand. That means when you have a brand, people actually remember you, know who you are, understand what behind that is, like your vision, the impact that you have on society with your products, and this positive thought process that you, again, most of the time subconsciously implement at your customer's mind will help when they then see your product or your stuff and you want to achieve something. The entry point is way, 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 way easier than if nobody knows you.
Yeah. And I think we've spoken about this before, you have with leveraging QR codes, how that can actually help you with your cost per lead. Is that a strategy that Red Bull utilizes?
Absolutely.
There?
Like you can start and utilizing your merch, but again, it comes back, what is your actual target with that? Is this a branding part? Is this a lead generation or an actually acquisition goal that you try to achieve with that? And of course, you have events where Red Bull is using that, or in combination with a flyer or whatsoever, to actually lead people to a final purchase of something.
And I suppose that's an important distinction to make, where when Red Bull's a big brand, they're using their merch for branding, whereas smaller brands might use merch in a slightly different way while borrowing from that strategy there.
Yeah, branding and overall is, when you come from a marketing perspective, is spending dollars on purely branding is a luxury that not, and especially not smaller businesses have. By using merch, having the branding impact, but using it for the actual upsell or the lead generation whatsoever, what we all the time say is preferable for all of them. Rarely a Red Bull is the only one who does merch. So for everyone who is not in a position of a Red Bull or other beverage companies, they will be kind of forced, and there's nothing wrong with that, actually run in tandem with their merch strategy.
Yeah, 100%. I suppose, what are some of the key takeaways that if I was a small business looking at this strategy and I don't have the same buying power or the same well-known things that Red Bull has, what are some things that I can still take from and potentially adapt to suit my needs?
Yeah, it's again, comes back to, you need to know your audience. When you know your audience, you should understand what type of products would be interesting for them. In limited products, well, when we talk about limitation in this context, is you can limit the product numbers by offering them to your customer when they are in your shop or in any kind of engagement with you, to actually build a certain exclusivity for them, feeling valued that they have access to that. And of course, you can use it as well in the same moment for certain upsells. But if you make sure your customer understands what the product means to him, and you make sure they understand as well it's a limited way of being engaged with you as a business owner or you as a new brand, then you have already the first step into this, what big brands do as well, to implement a positive impact, what your brands associate then in the mind of your client. Just quickly, if you're ready to take your brand to the next level, Promopunks makes it easy.
With Australia's largest catalogue of over 10,000 customable products, fast quoting in just 30 minutes, and transparent pricing with no hidden fees, we've got you covered.
Get your free custom quote today via a link in the show notes.
Now back to the episode.
So what are some ways that small brands can even build exclusivity to begin with their merch?
In a first step, you could run two different ways. You can, of course, come up with a fully custom product that you design, and we can then as well produce for them. So you have a exclusive product actually built and developed and shaped for you. What, of course, comes to its cost, or with its cost. But on the other hand, co-branding. Let's say you run with a Pierre Cardin or Mont Blanc pen in a co-branding way, where you know the products are limited in itself because of the price. And you don't even need to go in high unit numbers there, that you can actually access these products, and then have really, really fine and high quality decoration with your brand, and you have a situation of exactly that, what big companies or big brands like Red Bull can achieve because they have the buying power with small units on a smaller scale, but the same impact.
So when we're looking at the strategy with merch of Red Bull, obviously they utilize giveaways as a part of that. Is there a way small businesses can mimic that within their own business and merch strategy?
Absolutely. I guess even on a smaller scale for small business has an even bigger impact. Because what Red Bull is achieving, hey, I'm getting in contact with my customers, potentially interested people. They have never heard of Red Bull or whatsoever. But counting that down for a small brand, small business owner, to actually be able to have a conversation starter or having a reason for customers or potential interested customers to talk to you as a pull impact or pull effect. It has a way more personal and actually high success rate because people get to know you. You have a reason why you can talk to them, and then finishing this entire interaction with something exclusive that you hand over to stay in their memory, and have a positive impact. You're kind of putting the seed into their mind with a great conversation, or with a great conversation, and then building up on that because you stick with them with the action of handing over something limited. So that's why giveaways, especially for small brands, have a great impact on their customer generation.
Okay, so I have in front of me a few standout case studies from Red Bull of events that they've put on, and I want to hear from you how you would reframe these events for a small business, okay?
Okay.
So the first event is a mobile energy team activation. So Red Bull gave out merch and then also samplings of their product. How would you reframe that for a small business?
So that means you need to be a company who is selling a product that people actually can take home.
Yeah.
Means car salespeople are way out.
Yeah.
Well, let's say as an example, you are a new coffee roaster brand. You could come up with kind of pre-packed small 150, 200 gram bags, and then have some custom printing label on the spot and customize your handover. So that way you are able to have personalized, free giveaways allocated, and actually, again, back to this exclusive part where you give people the chance to recognize, oh, personal, exclusive, kind of tailored to me, and it's something new. So I use as a new brand, without any branding recognition, already this impact of exclusivity and personalization on the spot.
eSports sponsorship. So this was where Red Bull sponsored games that were essentially online. How would you reframe that one?
Esports is kind of, you have a quite male dominated, and again, that's the main target group, so they know their target audiences. Like, we know Red Bull from all the action stunts and outdoor people, and you find them as well in regards to all the action as well in esports, like we're playing Counter-Strike and other strategy games, etc., or sports games, where, of course, you as a smaller business slash smaller brand need to know first, okay, where can I find my audience? And then it comes back to, yes, smaller events, they're quite affordable in regards to sponsoring, but that requires a good research to make it worthwhile. Sponsoring can work really, really well. We had experience with that as well, sponsoring marketing events and whatsoever. But for every brand that thinks about, okay, how can I get my brand out there and use merch as well on there, or having a better understanding what the impact of this merch could be, you need to know your audience. But it's definitely possible on the smaller scale.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
100%. Cool. And then the last one here is events and having UGC promotions at those events. So Red Bull essentially can get athletes and fans wearing the merch and then get content of that, and it can be later used for marketing purposes. Is there a way to do that as a small business?
Oh, yeah. So you can definitely go score. You see it on social media. You don't need to reach out to the big guys. They're known with their 2 million followers, and that comes back down to your community as well. You have known community members, even within your suburb, when you have an event on the market, to actually use this person when they're happy to collaborate with you, to have this impact in a smaller scale within your community. So it's definitely possible. It's nothing needs to be all the time in this massive scale. You can scale it down. You just need to think about, okay, where do I find these people? Who are they? And are they the right person talking to my audience I want to reach?
Yeah, it just comes back to knowing your ideal customer so well, down to what influences they would even follow the advice
Absolutely.
of. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you, Sophie, for this episode, for joining me. And I thank you guys for joining as well. And I hope I see you the next time. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to Promotions Playbook. If you enjoyed this episode, the best way to show your support is by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube so you never miss an episode.
You can also find more of us at PromoPunks on all social media platforms.
We'll catch you in the next episode. And until then, keep your brand on top.